Coming up on Around San Diego, the man on trial accused of killing his estranged wife and her friend took the stand in his own defense. We'll have more from inside the courtroom. And there are new concerns over the cost of an electric vehicle requirement for government agencies. We'll also have those details. Plus, the San Diego church is losing its property insurance after the company says it used satellite imagery on its roof. Our Anna Laurel is working for you to find out just what exactly happened. Thanks so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We do begin with a double murder trial that we've been following closely. We are hearing new details from the moments Ali Abulaban says he walked into his downtown San Diego apartment and shot and killed his estranged wife and her friend. He has been on the witness stand as the defense claims that the killings were a crime of passion. Our Steve Price was inside the courtroom as Abulaban was questioned by prosecutors.
A tense and emotionally draining day of testimony. At one point, Anna and Ray's family wiped away tears and looked in another direction as graphic pictures were shown from the murders. Ali Abulaban testifying about the day he killed them.
After you fired the first shot, you didn't decide to stop, correct?
I couldn't.
Ali Abulaban back on the witness stand, being cross-examined by Deputy District Attorney Taryn Brast, who is trying to prove the murders of Abulaban's estranged wife Anna and her friend Ray Barone were premeditated, a claim Abulaban has denied, saying it was a crime in the heat of passion.
You wanted him dead, and that's what you did, right?
No, I just lost control.
Brast says Abulaban aimed only for Ray's head, firing one shot at such close range there was soot on Ray's face. Then, instead of leaving, he stepped in front of Anna and racked the gun.
Anna put her hands up in the air and screamed, right? For mercy?
She was screaming because she was scared.
And you made the choice to fire another shot.
Brast said after shooting Anna in the head, Abulaban pushed her head into Ray's lap and placed bullets by her feet, moves Abulaban denied, but he did agree that he never tried to perform CPR.
You never did a single thing to help her inside the apartment, correct?
I didn't think I was capable of it. I didn't know how to.
You did not do a single thing to help her, right?
No.
Also during cross-examination, Brast showed Abulaban's internet searches just days before the murders, including chopped bodies and decapitated heads. She also questioned him about another search for teen porn video, and that exchange turned tense.
You want to paint me as some kind of child molester? Show me. Show me. What you just said. I've never seen that in the discovery. I've been incarcerated 3 years. You never showed that to my team. Where did you get that?
Also today, the defense attorney asked for a mistrial, saying the prosecutor misrepresented a conversation that led to a tense outburst from Ali Abulaban. The judge denied that request. Closing arguments will take place tomorrow at the downtown courthouse. Steve Price, CBS 8.
Steve, thank you. And the parole hearing for the man dubbed the Pacific Beach rapist in the 90s has been postponed. Wednesday's hearing will be rescheduled because Kenneth Bogard's attorney called out sick. Bogard was convicted of sexually assaulting 7 women in their homes over the course of 2 years in the early 1990s. The DA says that the 66-year-old could qualify for an early release under elderly parole, but he's already been denied once back in 2019. A new hearing date for Bogard likely will be selected within 4 to 6 months. We are also learning more about a string of pellet gun shootings in Hillcrest and North Park. This comes as San Diego police are now investigating them as possible hate crimes. Early Saturday morning, police say the shooter targeted 4 LGBTQ bars: the Rail, Number 1, Rich's Nightclub, and Peck's Bar. Pellets hit 3 people, including 1 person in the eye. FBI statistics show hate crimes against the LGBTQ community have been on the rise. San Diego Pride says they have reached out to every single one impacted.
Our community is not a stranger to being targeted by violence, whether that is intentionally because of who we are or whether this was not actually hate motivated. We don't have that answer yet.
So San Diego police say its Western Division has added more patrols to the Hillcrest area. If you have any information, you are urged to call San Diego police at their non-emergency line. Well, these are satellite images of a southeast San Diego roof and what an insurance company is now saying that they are using to drop the church's policy. CBS 8's Anna Laurel is working for you to find out just what exactly happened and what the insurance company called Guide One has to say.
Can you see the details of this roof repair job from our CBS 8 drone? An insurance company canceled this church's policy based on what it says it saw from a satellite image.
My roof was not leaking. Here's what they said. Now that's from their underwriter.
I reviewed the pictures. The policies will not be reinstated. There are areas showing wear and tear, and the picture below shows several broken shingles.
That's it. End of story.
And that's going to make them cancel
No, that's not me. They did.
Sidney Buggs is the pastor at Greater Gospel Center, Church of God in Christ in Southeast San Diego. He was stunned when their insurance company, Guide One, dropped the church's policy because it said this satellite image showed broken shingles on the roof.
I said, satellite? How can they see the condition of a roof from a satellite? I don't care how close they get. I'm a retired cement mason, general contractor. Yes, the roof is old. It's worn a little bit, yes. It's 15, 20 years old, yes, but it's not leaking. There was no threat to leak. There's no water spots in my sanctuary.
I went to Sidney's church today. It's in pristine condition. 2 different congregations meet here on Sundays. The community has musicals here, banquets and weddings.
And all these things were done with the community in mind. And this membership, this less than 100 members, I don't have no doctors or lawyers that are part of our congregation, but these small people have come together to make it work. And so that's what this church means to the community.
Because Guide One dropped the church, they're forced to replace the roof, so another insurance company will pick them up. The cost, $51,000. The new insurance they just got is $20,000, $15,000 more than what they paid last year.
We don't have donors that can come in and write us checks. We're hurting. We're hurting.
This is the Guide One report Sidney got with the image it said it used. According to this, there's no structural damage, no missing shingles, no rust, patching, or ponding. In fact, it says it has 81% confidence in the shingles. CBS 8 reached out to Guide One. It said they do not comment on private matters.
Guide One is a major church insurer. Major church insurer. And there are other churches in the city. They're doing it to them too.
We'll keep working for you and asking Guide One for answers. In Southeast San Diego, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
Anna, thank you. Well, the San Diego County Board of Supervisors has passed a resolution to call State Farm and other insurance companies who pulled policies a bad neighbor. The resolution, passed unanimously, opposes all large insurance companies' decisions to abandon homeowners, renters, and small business owners. So it instead calls on them to work together with the State Insurance Commission to ensure long-term availability and affordability of coverage. The resolution also calls on transparency from the State Insurance Commissioner in the rate-setting process so that homeowners can get a fair deal. This comes after State Farm announced it would be dropping coverage from thousands of homeowners in San Diego County. Well, the opening of a new migrant center is one step closer to becoming a reality after the County Board of Supervisors approved Building 1 on Tuesday. This comes after more than $19 million in funding was awarded to the county last month for this project. The SBCS nonprofit-run temporary migrant center closed in February of this year due to a lack of county funding. The county will now look for a company to build the center. All of this comes as a new report from Border Patrol names San Diego sector as the busiest border in the country. And right now, a new task force is being created to look into illnesses that might be stemming from the Tijuana sewage crisis. Beaches in IB have been shut down for more than 900 days. So a new task force includes IB's mayor, doctors, and researchers. They are looking into how sewage in the air might be making people sick.
We're seeing a lot of people that are coming in with wheezing, coughing, so people with asthma of all ages, so young people, elderly people. We actually looked at some numbers from this time last year to this year, and we've had a 140% increase in people requiring breathing treatments.
Yeah, so soon they'll be rolling out a survey. The task force also aims to get the broken wastewater treatment plant fixed sooner and prevent sewage from Tijuana from spilling into San Diego. Well, there are new concerns over a California regulation that requires government agencies to transition diesel fuel work cars to electric vehicles. Helix Water District, which provides water to East County residents, is trying to figure out how it will pay for those EVs. The majority of its customers are low income, and its director of operations, Kevin Miller, says a top concern is whether rates would increase because of that requirement.
At this point, we have some preliminary engineers estimate that we're going to be approximately $11 million into a project of this magnitude. Now, as we finalize the design, that estimate will get shored up, and then as we go out to bid to get a competitive bid, then we'll really know what the cost of this project is.
Yeah, so the regulation requires 100% of vehicle purchases at local and state government agencies to be zero emission by January 1st, 2027. Helix says it will have to replace at least 120 vehicles. You can read more about these new regulations online at CBS8.com. Well, still ahead, a 2-year-old and his parents still traumatized after he was bit on the arm by a rattlesnake. That story next. Welcome back. Parents of a 2-year-old boy are, of course, still traumatized after he nearly died when a rattlesnake bit him in their backyard. CBS 8's Anna Laurel talked to the family this week, and they want to share their story to help other families learn what to do should this happen to one of your kids.
Balls. Yogi balls? Yeah. So now he's a lefty.
2-year-old Briggs Pfeiffer depends on his left hand now for a snack, unable to use his right hand after a rattlesnake bit him between his thumb and forefinger 3 weeks ago.
He came over to me and he goes, ah, ah. I looked and all I saw was a drop of blood like on his finger, like the smallest little drop. You could not see any bite.
Briggs' older brother saw what was hiding behind the fire pit.
He was like, snake! And then I was like, what? And I looked over and I saw the rattlesnake.
They jumped in the car to go to Sharp's urgent care in Rancho Bernardo. A 911 dispatcher told them to wait for an ambulance. The urgent care did not have anti-venom. They would need to go to the emergency room at Palomar and Escondido.
He was laying down on the sidewalk out front, just like flat, just sweating, and like he wasn't moving.
First responders marked the poison moving up his body, turning his arm black. By the time he got to Palomar's ER 25 minutes away, they could not start an IV. Snake poison constricts your veins.
I thought he was going to die, and we all thought he was going to die, and even the doctor thought he was going to die. When they started putting the pads on to shock him, and I saw his blood pressure going down, and I was like, they took the labs, and we knew it wasn't good, and his whole arm was black. I was like, I don't want his last memory to be me screaming.
As a last resort, the Palomar ER team drilled into his leg and got him anti-venom that way. But then he had to go to Rady Children's Hospital. He stayed in ICU there for several days. Doctors still unsure he would make it.
Platelets of 13, like you don't live. Nobody understands how he's alive.
It took 30 vials of anti-venom to bring Briggs back, for blood to flow back into his arm and fingers.
Because he's 2, he's so, I think, more likely to die, but because he's 2, he's probably more likely to heal, right? But you have to be able to survive to get there.
I reached out to Sharp and Scripps and UC San Diego Health Systems. Sharp and Scripps say if bitten by a rattlesnake, call 911 first. Urgent cares do not have anti-venom. They can stabilize someone and arrange for transport to an ER. But remember, time is of the essence. It's that lack of access to even urgent cares that worries Briggs' mother even today.
Get kids stable and then be able to take them there. It could have been a completely different thing. I could have gotten stable at Sharp in 5 minutes and then gone right down to Rady's. But there's not that.
I am so glad he's okay, Anna. Thank you. Now, the best thing to do when you or someone you know do need anti-venom, call 911. They'll tell you the closest place to go. If you have a child, you may want to go straight to Rady Children's anyway, but still call 911 because they say you'll likely need an ambulance. This past week marked 4 months since devastating floods hit southeast San Diego. Everything that so many had worked so hard for was gone in a matter of minutes. So we went back to the flood zone and spoke with neighbors and volunteers about the impact this has had on them and the progress made over the last 4 months. You can find our coverage online at CBS8.com. And don't forget, so many people still do need your help after the storm. If you can help, CBS 8 is partnering with the Salvation Army. You can drop off donations at any one of their thrift stores across San Diego County. And if you yourself need help, San Diego County is pointing people impacted by floods to local volunteer organizations that are active in disasters. Visit CBS8.com and click on the help button for a list of resources. Coming up, a new app is helping the environment while inspiring competition. Our Sean Stiles breaks it down in our Earth 8 report. Well, there's nothing quite as inspiring as good competition when it comes to reaching a goal and helping the environment. A recently released app, Planet Flip, helps do just that. It was developed here in San Diego with help from students from UCSD. Our Sean Stiles sat down with the project manager to see how it's motivating conservation groups to do more.
When it comes to doing things for the environment, how do you figure out what you want to do? And for that matter, how do you keep track of it? Well, there's a browser-based app called Planet Flip that works best on your mobile device. It helps you keep track, and the best part, it's free.
And at the end of the competition, the best team gets a certain amount of prizes from sponsors of Planet Flip.
Ron Kagan is the lead project manager with Planet Flip and collaborated with students at UCSD on the app after a presentation in 2022.
We ended up launching with UCSD's Green New Deal, and that launched just last fall, 2023, with a number of students actually heading up the steering committee for the launch.
The strategy on Planet Flip is to create a friendly competition between different environmental groups, all while keeping score and tracking what they're doing. This is where the students came in.
They really have told us the way to inspire and get people kind of committed to doing it is to run competitions between teams, to what we call gamify it, turn it into a game, so that when you or I choose something to do, we actually get what are called climate points inside of Planet Flip.
Because let's face it, we all need a little motivation even when it comes to helping the planet.
That way it really begins to be something that encourages people to do more, to research more, and to work with one another.
The app presents options, whether it be what you eat, where you bank, or what happens when you recycle. Originally designed to work with groups, it works good for the individual.
Don't have to be associated with any organization, and choose your own actions that you'd like to take.
Kagan wants the app to highlight what's being done for the planet instead of just hearing what's wrong.
What we don't read about is all the positive things that we can do and how individual and small group changes can make a monumental impact on the climate.
The great thing about the Planet Flip app is it's free and it works so well on your mobile device. Definitely inspirational when it comes to doing something for the environment. Sean Stiles, Earth 8.
Sean, thank you as always. That'll do it for us. I'm Jenny Day. Thank you for watching.